Hello, what is going on, guys? William here for a new video. Today I would like to, I'm doing a small React web project, and I would like to integrate Firebase Authentication to do login, sign up, and have protected pages with React Router. So I thought I would do this live. You guys might find it useful. I haven't done React Web since a long time, so I might be rusty. I might actually struggle a little bit to get it done, but let's see. I mean, yeah, lately I've been doing a lot of React Native, React navigation. So yeah, I might be super rusty with React Router and so the project I would like to do, I built this small widget that connects to the TestFlight API, so you can get a TestFlight invitation on iOS if you want to try a React Native, any actually iOS app. And then I made this little widget if you're using Expo, so you have the Android tab with the QR code and the iOS tab with the form that connects to TestFlight. And so I did a simple create React app. I just did 3 components, so you have some page, sign in, sign up. These components are completely empty, they don't do anything. Just put some components together. And you should have maybe dashboard, which should be like kind of like the protected page. So yeah, let's get started. I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is to create a project on Firebase. So I'm gonna call it boarding pass. Oops, selected the wrong region, but I guess that's okay. That's fancy, it's new, I've never seen this animation, it's really cool. Alright, and I'm gonna activate authentication. So for now I'm just gonna activate email password. Enable, hello. So I guess this is good for now. And now I need to install Firebase. And so usually what I like to do when I use Firebase in a project, I usually create a class called Firebase where I do the initialization of the different Firebase components that I'm using, for instance, authentication, storage, and usually I'm always able to put some. So at the beginning of the project, it always seems a bit useless, this class, but as you grow, sometimes I like to put some utility functions and so on. It usually turns out to be quite useful to have a single entry point for Firebase. So I'm gonna do that. Export. Okay. So now I should get the configuration. Is that? Yes. Add Firebase to your web app. So this is what I need. Let me see how I've done it in a, let me do some copy and paste here. Might win a bit of time. So I have this React Native app that's using also where I built a Firebase class. Okay, so that's the import. And yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly what I need. And I'm just using authentication for now. All right, that looks good. Okay. So, all right, let's do sign in. I have two fields, email, password. Values are in the state. So I'm gonna use this Firebase class, which I just created. I'm gonna make a sync function, and I think it's so firebase.auth. And the function is called create. Let me check. Create account. This one is sign in, create user with email password, Perfect. So we probably need to do some error handling here. All right. Oh, sorry, that's sign in. So I should put this in sign up. So in sign up, I have same with email password. So create user with email password, and here it should be sign in with email password. Okay. And now, oh, I need to import Firebase. Maybe in so now what I would like to do, I would like to do a couple of things. If I'm signed, so I want to listen to the auth change. If I'm signed in, I want to redirect to the dashboard page. I'm not sure how to do this with React Router. I think there is a higher order component available with Router. I need to check the documentation. So if I sign out, I need to be redirected to the login page or some unprotected page. And the last step is to maybe build higher order component that makes like a protected higher order component that makes the page protected. So if the status is non-authenticated, I'm redirecting to the login page or some other page. Let's say the login page. And actually for that, I think I'm going to use the context API from React 16.3. And that's something you don't have to do if you're implementing authentication workflow in React Native. You don't have to do this because you cannot enter a state from the URL. So the user cannot enter a URL directly in the app. So you don't have to do this protected check on the screen. That's I would say the biggest difference between implementing an authentication workflow in React Web and React Native. So let me check React Router documentation. I'm really not sure how we can do redirects programmatically. I think there's something called with router. And how can I so should I use location? Or history push maybe? I haven't used this in a really long time. I guess. So I could use with router. And push, history push. Yeah, that looks good actually. Alright, so let's do sign up. Yeah, sign up. So I'm going to create the account. Let's say if an error happened right now, I'm just going to display an alert. And if everything works, so I should have router available in props. Push dashboard. So I need to use with router. All right, looks good. Okay. So let's try sign up. Okay, sign up. Okay, I need to invoke maybe, so I need to invoke, I forgot to invoke Firebase init, which I guess I can do in app.js. Alright, so router is undefined. Why? Maybe a thing, okay, in the meantime what we can try, since the account should have been created, we can try if sign in works. So I can... so here if I put some... oh, sorry. So if I put some buggy value, okay, password doesn't match. If I put the right value, okay, no error. So, I think I've been using with router in another project. Let me check. With router. See how I was using it. Looks pretty standard. Okay, so history, yeah, I should have seen it from the actually the documentation example, sorry. Okay, sign up. So same with sign in. Okay. Let's try sign in. Oh. So the redirect works well. Maybe now in dashboard we can add the sign out button. Sign out. I need to import Firebase. Oops. So it would be Firebase out, and I think just sign out. So sign up, sign in, okay. So I can sign out. Let me try signing up. Okay. So now I should listen for auth changes. So if I click sign out, it should redirect me to the login page. And if I try to access dashboard directly, yeah, right now I'm signed out, should redirect me to the login page. And I think I should use the context API to do this. Let me think. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Let's check. So I'm gonna create a Firebase auth provider. All right. And so we need the state, so we need to know if the auth status is reported. And if the user is logged in. And the default for both is false. Okay, so I'm going to create a Firebase context. Just gonna copy okay. Firebase context dot provider and value I hope that the value can be an object, doesn't have to be a well, I guess we will see. So okay, create context, this is default value, perfect. It's the first time I'm using it, so I'm quite excited to finally use this new API. So okay. Okay. Oops. Now in the component did mount, we can listen to changes on auth change. I think that's how it's called. So let me import Firebase first. Okay. I think it's called on auth change. On, oops. What? Sorry. Firebase on auth state changed. That, yeah, that's the one. Okay. Perfect. And we can do actually this set state auth status reported true and is user signed in, Boolean casting of the user variable. So it's complaining about these two fields not being used, but it's normal because we will use it in the consumer, not in the provider. All right, so now back, okay, maybe I need to export this in the component folders. Oops. And I can import it here. Just put it in the root of my application. Perfect. So now I'm thinking that in dashboard I can access, I can do, maybe I'm gonna do it without the higher order component first, and if it works, clean it with the higher order component. But I'm thinking now if I look at, let's say for instance at the dashboard component, which because of copy and paste and waste, I didn't name properly, I can listen to the values from the Firebase state auth provider and redirect to login if the user is signed out, and then I can factor this into a higher order component which I can call protected, for instance. So let's see the context documentation. So I have the Firebase. So I need to export the Firebase out context. Dun, dun, dun. Perfect. So, okay. So I'm gonna use the consumer. And so I should get auth sorry, so auth status reported and user signed in. Actually, I'm only interested in this one. So if user signed in, I show the dashboard. What am I doing? Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna put a div maybe. I will clean this up later, and if it's not signed in, I can throw a redirect. Oops, to login. Okay, so I can import the redirect component from React Router. Let's see, is this gonna work? No, duplicate. Okay. You have some coffee left, yes, nice. So, if I go to dashboard, you see I'm redirected to login. And if I sign in, oops, what? If I sign in, I'm on the dashboard. No, so that's not working. So let me do some debugging here. Maybe if I disable the redirect. So okay, is user signed in false? Adds and true, but it's too late. Haha. Oh, I'm so silly. So I actually need both values. I also need auth status reported. So if, oops, hot status reported and user signed in. And if the hot status reported is not true yet, I will show some loading indicator, and in fact I will probably do this in a root component here, or actually I will do it in the Firebase out provider. So if this value is false, I will show some loading indicator here. So I have access to the dashboard, but nothing is displayed. Why? If hot status I'm actually gonna change this. And use hot status reported. Oh, okay, I was not returning any values. So is this correct? Okay, sign in. Doesn't seem to work. Maybe clean this up. Okay. So here it seems to work. Sign out, not logged in, that's great. If I sign in again, so why wasn't it working? So now if I add a redirect, okay, that looks good. Okay. So now if I go to dashboard, I get redirected to login. And now if I should sign in, it should work, hopefully. Yeah, it works. Okay. So there is, I guess, a lot of cleanup now to be done, but like the basic infrastructure is here. And we can refactor this probably in a higher order component. Maybe we can do this quickly. Protected screen. And I'm gonna need the Firebase. I think this React new context API is really cool. I mean, right now you might find the code base to be a bit ugly, but I think it's actually a very elegant solution to, once I clean up a bit this mess, I think it's an extremely elegant solution to use this API to integrate React Router and Firebase. It's the first time I use it, and I'm actually quite happy about it. I think it's really cool. But let me know what you guys think, of course. Protected screen. So Firebase out context consumer, we receive is user signed in as parameter. Perfect. If is user signed in, we return how does this work? I think we return this class from a function. We pass a component as parameter. I think that's how it works. And we can do so we return comp, else we redirect to login. Import from, okay. Okay. And so now if we go in dashboard, okay, let me export this function. So now let's try to use it in dashboard. So I can remove this stuff. So now I just have the code for my component. Perfect. And I should do protected screen. Okay, I will definitely need to do some cleanup in, or is it the default? What provider? Definitely need to do some cleanup in the file naming here. So, login, dashboard, functions are not, oops. I need to pass the props. Or maybe just okay, so now if I sign out, not being redirected, looks like. Oh, forgot to return, and this clause is useless. So login, sign in. Okay, and now you see if I try to go, so I signed out, if I try to go to dashboard again, redirects me to login. Alright, so I hope you find this small screencast useful. So basically that was how to implement Firebase Authentication with React in a React web project using React Router and the new context API from React 16.3. I'm gonna need to clean this up offline quite a bit, and also making sure the flow support, the flow types pass. So I have quite some a lot of type annotations missing. Hopefully typing the higher order component shouldn't be too hard, because in the latest version of Flow there is this thing called React element config, which allows you do type annotations for higher order components quite easily, because it computes exactly the right property type, like taking into account static default properties and so on. So yeah, I hope you guys found this little video useful.